shut the fuck up?
Welcome back.
Thank you.
How are you?
I'm okay.
Good.
I'm actually really good.
Are you really good?
Yeah.
Lou?
Okay.
Yeah, I was getting there. Will you chill the fuck out, man? Have you ever done this before?
Just once or twice.
Just take a breath. Here we go. Hi, Lou.
Hi.
Jesus.
Welcome.
Welcome to you guys. As
Music
well.
and Mayhem.
Music
with
and fucking
Jeremy.
mayhem. I'm Justin.
I'm Lou.
And look at our guests today.
Dude, we have some
guests.
rad
We have
fucking guests,
local radio rock and roll royalty in the house.
Absolutely.
Right over there.
I don't
is
like
the
that,
royalty.
right?
Nick and
No.
Big J
Yeah.
from
Hey, listen, I got all this last time. Now it's your turn.
Thank you.
from Morning After with Nick and Big J.
That's true.
Yes.
Welcome
Nick.
to.
Yes. Welcome.
Welcome,
Jay.
Nick. We have
Thank you,
Party
guys.
in the back as always. Make some noise, Party in the back.
Hi.
We've had Big J on previously. We had a great time with that. That was a lot of fun. This is Nick, your very first time with us here.
I have never been on the Music and Mayhem podcast before, no.
Well, welcome.
Thanks, man.
Have
Thank
you been
you.
on other podcasts outside of the
One
one
you
that
guys do?
Yeah, I've been a guest on several podcasts. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Yeah, I would love to listen to those.
It's so nice not to be the person that asks the questions and is the person that answers.
I know. I was wondering that
like
for
a
you
vacation.
guys. I was like, you guys get to interview like big names a lot of times.
But here, also, it's cool. Like, when we just leave here, I can leave. I don't have to do anything, spend 20, 30 minutes editing stuff or
No,
doing
just-
video. It's like luxurious.
yeah,
I can remember when we did our first interview with you guys on the air.
it was like 6 o'clock in the fucking morning.
yeah, and then we're like, cool, you guys, like, you only work from 5 o'clock when you get there till like 10. That's awesome. And you guys both looked at us like we were fucking stupid.
Oh, dude.
With the amount of editing and things you guys have to do after.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you actually have to push buttons and things.
You
right?
guys do all your own editing? Both of yous there, or what's the scoop with
we
that?
all have we both have different titles at the radio station
Yes.
besides just the morning show, because radio in the current modern era is so much more than just somebody that talks on the radio.
Right.
So for the longest time, I was the program director of the X, which means daily operations, everything behind the scenes. Big J, assistant program director, music director, in charge of all the music. So when the show's over, that's when the job begins. I got to take care of all the calls and organize the upcoming promotions and make sure all of our concert stuff is in a row. Big J's got to schedule music for a couple of days. We have our music meeting every week where we talk about what songs are we going to play, what songs are we going to get rid of, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, there's a lot more to it. And then recently I became the operations manager.
I heard that.
Big
Congrats.
balls. Thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
congratulations.
So now
brother.
I oversee the programming of all 4 of the stations that Lotus owns.
man.
So
Wow.
it's just basically making sure that everybody has everything they need to be as successful as they possibly can.
Well,
So-
you guys
So-
have been doing it for a substantial amount of years now. The Morning After with Nick and Big J. How many years now? We talked about this last time.
17 years.
Good
Yeah.
Lord.
yeah, it's a lot,
That's
man.
dealing with each other nearly every weekday, and
And
Oh,
do you
every
guys,
weekday,
do
pretty
you guys
much.
like
Well,
each
when
other
one of yous is-
as much as you come across as liking each other? Like, you guys seem like you're actually really good friends.
Yeah. I
So
would-
that's not just
I
a
mean,
radio performance?
I think we are.
Absolutely. Sure. Yeah.
Nick's like, "Well, I hope
We
so."
are? Yeah.
Oh well, fuck.
No, that's the good thing about the show is when we decided we wanted to do the show, we came up with the idea for the show. We wanted to just be like a couple of guys you could sit down and have some beers with. That was the idea. We didn't want to be these fake radio personas. We didn't want to be these alter egos. We didn't want to be these kind of fake ass people that nobody can relate to.
You're wacky, crazy morning
Right,
radio
right.
DJs.
Yeah.
Because speaking of ego, I noticed your name is first in the title.
Yeah, it's true. We the truth
Yeah, I
is,
just noticed that too. What the hell?
we kicked around. Remember some of the other names that we kicked around with for
No.
the show?
I always wanted morning cocaine, but nobody would approve that.
Yeah,
Oh,
it was not
fucking-
approved. Believe it or not.
You came to the wrong house.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, if you say Big J and Nick in the morning, it doesn't sound
Oh, it
right.
just
Yeah,
doesn't
no,
flow
no,
off
you're
the
right.
tongue properly.
Yeah.
And that's
morning
what it was.
cocaine, yeah.
I think we came up with morning after because it was like the morning after. This first show was the morning after my birthday.
Yes.
And it was just like the morning after. Well, we're gonna have to get up early after we do all this cool
It's
shit.
always made me think
So-
of just trying really hard with a fucking hangover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The morning after. That's
exactly.
what I.
That's
It's
exactly
like,
what
oh,
it
Jesus,
was
we're
set
still
up.
here though. We did
Yep.
it.
My honestly, the name of that show, I think of it totally different, and I'm hoping I'm not the only one out there. But I think of that pill that you go and get when you fucked up. When
you fucked somebody you definitely should not have fucked.
That's
We made that joke before. So.
Yeah.
After pill. Yeah.
The truth is, the show predates the pill, which is crazy. But like,
Is
I
that
mean,
a fact?
Yeah, it wasn't like an actual like super heavy thing until until a couple, I guess, maybe even 15 years ago. But it's been a thing for a while. But we were kind of making a joke about hangovers and even like waking up after a one night stand or whatever.
It's exactly
That
perfect,
kind of
dude.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've been tuning in. We all work in the fucking trade, so we have to get up early and go to work. Lou's a supplier for the trade, so just a lot of early morning driving and listening to terrestrial radio because I still think it's 1995.
Yeah.
So,
God
Love
bless
it.
you.
well, I mean,
Stay dumb, people.
yeah, dude. No,
What
you
are
guys
playlists?
you guys have been my morning for a very, very long time. So.
Well, and I love the fact that the morning after show is on the podcast.
yeah, you guys. When did you start that? That's recently.
It's been 3 years, I think.
Yeah.
3 or 4 years.
Oh shit!
It was
Not
one of those
nearly
things
as
where
recent as
we had to. I mean, we really had to force that to happen. We wanted to do it for a long time, and then we thought, we had these ideas of grandeur about, it being sold and that sort of thing. But really, ultimately, in the digital space, we didn't have any digital content available for anybody.
Sure.
And so it was like, we have to do this. So let's just rip the show without the commercials and without the music because we can't, license wise. And it's worked out really, really well.
Well, and I
because
think that-
people can just go and find out whatever they want.
What you guys want to plug that? Where can you find that podcast?
Everywhere.
just
Everywhere you get
anywhere
Music
you find
and
a
Mayhem.
podcast.
Everywhere you get Music and Mayhem podcast, you can find the Morning After podcast.
Probably plus some because we're only on a couple of streaming platforms. But
Well,
that's
that-
because we're lazy.
That segues nicely into something I wanted to ask you guys about the current situation that is the music industry. Like, if you don't have online content, then
Or do you exist?
do you even exist,
Yeah, right.
right? Like, what you guys have seen it since, you guys have been in the industry for a long time, and you've seen it before everything was digital.
Yeah.
And like I said, for a long time, we were looking at it like we're fucked, man. The music industry is fucked, because anybody can record anything they want. Nobody has to get signed by a record label anymore. And my mentality on that has changed to that we're on this precipice of a new sort of music. Like, if the old man in me could just get out of the way for a second and let me progress a little bit, and my ideals of what creating content is, like, that's why we're going digital online with this kind of shit. Like, if even if nobody would normally hear what you're doing, if you can create content, that you have the same chance of anybody just being like, because like, what makes anything go viral? Just the dumbest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Like Jake Paul.
Yeah, like the fucking Hawk Tuah girl.
Yeah, dude. It
Yeah,
makes no
spit
sense.
on dick is what
It
she
makes no
basically
sense.
said, and everybody's like, I agree with her. Let's make T-shirts. Like, what in the fuck sort of John Carpenter post-apocalyptic world are we living in?
I love it.
I mean, that's my rant over.
So speaking of
Was there a question in there, though?
I
started,
I
and
was
then it
asking.
trailed
Yeah,
off.
no, I just started. What do you see as the current state of? Can a band do it without online content or without creating some sort of TikTok following anymore?
Without TikTok, I think, certain like platforms or whatever. I mean, all in all, though, you definitely have to be out there doing that sort of stuff. And,
Right.
and it's just,
I've coined the phrase digital touring.
right.
That's
Yeah.
what
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, it's true, but it's great and it's terrible at the same time because everybody has, I think an equal footing when it comes to at least being able to record music.
Yes.
And then now with technology, and I was just reading an article about this, how crazy it is since the Pro Tools came about and people could access it. A lot of the open source material out there to be able to record their material is great. And we talked a little bit about this the last time I was on, but that can take you so far. It goes to another point where you have dreams and you want to be this huge rock star or whatever. Then you have to know how to do the other part.
Sure.
So there are people who are really good at creating that content and find a way to get it out there to everybody. But when it comes down to them doing a live show, they would have no idea on how to do that.
Right.
And so there's
You have to
there's
toe
a
the
full
line
stop
between
there
the
at some
two.
point. But I think it's opportunity to get different kinds of music and different kinds of, I think, at certain points you're like, hey, everything sounds the same, but not everybody really sounds the same. There's a lot of people out there who are creative and are creating new things.
Yeah. Well, the problem with that is it's
so-
over flooded the market for music.
Sure.
And you're getting
Yeah.
a lot of mediocrity that I find for sure. Like I was thinking about it driving around the other day and something came on and I was like, fucking 30 years, no bar band is going to be covering this song. They just don't, nobody's writing classics anymore.
I don't think there's anything like a hit anymore. It's hard to really...
It's just all so
We
disposable.
move on too quick. We
Yeah.
don't have the
Yeah.
attention span anymore for
I
something.
firmly
to be,
agree with that.
To be that much of a hit or to have that kind of impact on our society anymore. It's just the way that we are. But music, rock especially, and radio have a lot in common, and that is like. Everybody says we've died 1,000 deaths, right? When TV came around, nobody was going to listen to the radio anymore.
Sure.
When cable came around, nobody was going to listen to the radio anymore. When satellite radio came on, nobody's going to listen to the radio anymore. And it just, but guess what? The people that
Always
do it well
goes back to
survive.
the radio.
Rock is the same way. When, CDs became a thing, nobody was going to listen to vinyl anymore. Rock is dead. Rock is dead. Rock is dead. It's not. It's just a matter of the people that still do it well will find an audience. The only difference is we're competing for more of their attention than ever before.
Yes, because we have too many competitors.
The second we're done, everybody's going to their phone and we're all flicking through videos.
it's
And
so true.
What we have to do is make sure that we have our content, our show, your music available to people when they have the time and when they want to listen. That's why the stupid
Instantly,
podcast
yeah.
thing is a big deal. That's why video is a big deal for radio. That is why TikTok is a big deal and social is a big deal, is because people want to consume media or whatever on their own time and on their own terms.
Right.
And if you are too cocky to play by that rule, then they're just going to pass you by. So
No, and I think that's it. The old heads like us in the room that are like, well, fuck, we want RCA to find us and sign us
Yeah,
to a...
it's tough.
Like, it doesn't work like that anymore.
Not
The
anymore.
old model is dead.
All
There's
right,
no
all right,
two
your
ways
future
about it.
oil is what you're talking. You're like
Right.
a dinosaur.
No,
Jesus.
absolutely. I am
You're
future.
like a dinosaur. Sorry.
You got so
good one.
defensive.
Well, got it in,
yeah, you
dude.
really got him. What a zinger.
If everybody doesn't know
You
out
are.
there, anybody that doesn't know, Big J and I'm not sure we've had that many normal conversations.
Sure
ever.
we have.
When?
I don't
Normal
remember, but-
conversation.
Yeah, we're always trying to fight each other.
No, I don't want to fight you at all.
Well, I don't want to fight you. I've seen
I
you
just-
kick.
yeah,
Have you
I
seen
just-
him kick?
I've seen him do the splits.
It's been a long
Oh,
time. I
shit,
can't do
yeah.
that anymore.
Big J's straight up.
No,
You remember that shit,
I've
dude?
seen it.
I seen it.
We first time Blacktooth ever saw this. We were at Rock
Yeah.
the Mountain.
You got to be fucking kidding me.
And
Dude,
I-
it was amazing.
I went over there just cockhouse drunk, trying to fuck with Big J.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, for real. I was
No.
drinking back then.
That doesn't
Unreal.
sound right.
And I went over messing with Big J, and he does this fucking high scissor axe kick thing at me.
Yeah, I was Van Damme, dude.
Oh,
Dude.
dude. I used to do that shit. I took Kenpo for a number of years as a youth, like in my early teens. I used to do that shit at the swimming pool in Meridian to fucking show off between two chairs. That shit Van Damme would
You're
do.
like a character from Stranger Things.
Oh my god, dude! Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
No, just I was a weird kid,
Yes, you were.
and I
Fucking A.
Lou can attest. He's known me since I was 10, dude. I strange child. So
The thing
It's
that you,
okay though.
The
Yeah.
thing you guys might not know though, is that we were like an arranged marriage.
you and Nick,
We didn't really have. I mean, we had. I guess I could have quit, but it was a thing where it's like, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to be doing the morning show, and the new guy is going to be your partner. And so we kind of had to, develop chemistry, though it happened really naturally. That's the crazy part, is that happens all the time in
you
radio.
guys were forced into a morning show
Yeah,
together.
because Big J was actually up for the job that I got. So I think he
Ooh,
wanted
yeah.
to hate me right out the gate.
Who
But
the
I'm so
fuck is this
cool and
new
so
guy?
nice that he
It was your
couldn't-
MySpace page that made me want to hate
That's
you.
true. Because my MySpace page was trolling before trolling was a thing. I had a
you
bunch
remember
of fake ass
MySpace?
pictures on there that wasn't actually me. And he's
You were
like, this
catfishing
fucking nerd
everyone?
is coming in and taking it. Yeah, I was.
Yeah, Nick,
This
dude, way to do
fucking
it.
jerk off.
So
funny.
we got to actually go onto the station and be on your morning show with you guys way back when that relationship was pretty young. I mean,
That was a long
we're
time
looking
ago.
a long time ago, before, like, right around the time we did our first album release, which would have been, I mean, probably 15 years ago. So you guys had only been at it for a couple of years,
Yeah.
and we got to go on there. Obviously, you had continued to harass Big J.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
He said I called in and said some hateful shit to him, and I just don't think that's right.
I agree. I don't think it's right either.
Ah, see, my gaslighting has been working. I
No, I mean, I don't think it was right of you to call in and say that shit.
I don't believe
Thank
that.
you, Jay.
We're gonna have a hard time proving that was actually me, but
No, it's impossible.
yep,
You're right.
So you just have to believe me, I guess.
I don't think it's working, Jeremy. I just don't.
So
I don't.
you were interning back then, and God, they were doing some mean ass shit to you. And I was like, well, that sounds fun. Let's just pick on the fucking new guy. But apparently, my shit was less funny and more tragic.
It wasn't cheeky. It was mean and hurtful.
Hey, the X, this is Big J. I fucking hate
It
you.
was
I wish you would fucking
traumatizing.
unalive yourself. You're so fat and stupid. I fucking hate you. That does not
Exactly it.
Big J'd be
That
like,
sounds so
Oh my
familiar.
God! He got traumatized, PTSD from that voice. I put a fucking bomb in a building. You're gonna fucking die,
No,
big boy.
here's the thing: is the things I said back to you, we can't say anymore.
Why?
On the air.
Yes. Well, in general, I think
Right.
as human beings,
Mm.
we use
yeah.
language that you can't use
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You know, you can't-
Every bad word you could say, I said it about him.
And you guys are conditioned when a microphone's in front of
Me
your
too,
face
bud.
just to
Me
not
too.
have
It's hard to swear.
F come out. I
It's
know.
hard to swear.
Yeah.
It is hard to swear on the microphone. It's hard.
Does
to swear.
that limit your swearing in normal life because you're so conditioned from your job,
The
or
opposite.
do you make motherfucker everything as soon as you're mic? Yeah,
We're just
Yeah.
very disciplined.
It is.
yeah, that's fantastic.
You know, and it's weird as
Me
a
too.
listener of the morning after show. I'll hear you guys, and then I'll be like, "Wait a minute." We've hung out at shows and free X shows and everything. We've been on the station, and we know you know how to say fuck.
Yeah.
But we also know the huge warning that we got when we were when you guys were like, God, damn
Dude,
it,
if I
don't."
remember correctly, I showed up to that with the word "fuck" on my shirt
did.
because I knew
then, while
you could
there's-
still have to read it but not hear me say it.
while they're still trying to broadcast and they're talking, we wouldn't leave. We our little segment was done, and you were over there drawing dicks on their
On the
whiteboard.
whiteboard, the official X business, and I'm like,
Yeah.
well, that needs a dick. Drawn
that was there
next
for a long time
Yeah.
too. No
Yeah.
BS. We kept it up there for a while.
Thank
It
you.
became permanent,
It
actually.
did.
And when we tried to erase it, there was just that faintest.
It had been on there for the
Yeah,
shadow
outline.
of
It was
a
like
dick.
Ghost Dick for a
Yeah.
really long time in the X
Ghost
studio.
Dick.
Yeah.
Band name. I'm copyrighting it now. Don't take it.
Ghost dick.
So Nick, you've been in radio for 30 years, I hear.
2025 is my 30th year in the business. Yeah.
Wow.
Good Lord, cheers.
So
Party in the
cheers.
back,
Yeah.
make some noise, cheers.
Yeah.
So
No.
where'd you start?
I started. So I decided early on that radio was something I wanted to do. I was going to the University of Wisconsin and looked at like their radio program, but it took forever to get in. And so then I started like going, do I really want to take all these math classes and all these other classes if I just want to be on the radio? And then I found a broadcast school down in Arizona, took a tour of that. This is 1995, end of that year. And then I went to a radio school. It was basically a 9-month vocational school that taught you how to use all the equipment, taught you how to edit back on a reel-to-reel with like
Yeah,
razor blade
fuck
and
yeah, the
splicing
good
and
shit.
stuff. And then they helped you find a job. And I was lucky enough to find my first job about halfway through my education, where I was just running a board. I wasn't responsible for anything other than board operation, which doesn't really even exist anymore because of computers.
Everything's digital now.
Yep. It's all automation in the computer. But back in the day, you needed somebody to fire off the songs and fire off the commercials and have as little space as possible in between. That was my first gig, and then I ran a type board, and they offered me to be the morning show producer. I didn't know what the hell that meant, but I took the job.
Sounds like
And-
more money. I'm in.
Yep. And I learned on the job how to do a morning show, how to capture an audience, how to come up with benchmarks, how to come up with bits, all this kind of stuff. And then that was 1996 where I had my first full-time job. But I've been working in radio since 1995.
So you're like
That's
graduated.
Freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So
But I was 18, and now
Yeah.
I'm 48.
Well,
so-
you guys
Yeah.
run a pretty smooth running machine, and like all your segments fit together nice. Just everything, just
Pure luck.
you guys have figured it the fuck
Yeah,
out.
it's
So
trial and
cheers
error.
to
No,
you.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's
Trial
really
and
his experience, and then I just gravy train off of it. And
good
just,
job. I did
nice.
that with Jeremy.
I'm like Ed McMahon. I'm just like, yes.
you are correct, sir.
Yeah,
Yes, Johnny.
You and I are the same, dude. I
Yeah.
show up and Jeremy hands me like, "Hey, I wrote this song. Will you sing it?" And I'm, fuck yeah.
Ed McManning. I've never heard it called that. I've heard it Art Garfunkeling, but I've never heard it
Well,
called Ed McManning before.
we'll have guests in, and it's like there's only so much of a 3 or 4 way conversation you can have,
Sure.
and get out basic information and stuff like that.
Sure.
And so there's a lot of times where he he's the show driver, and he's driving things, and he actually has the most knowledge of shit that's happening. And so
you have that weird, crazy memory like I do. You just remember
he does.
details.
He just,
dude. It's a curse.
He is amazing. We make a good pair when it comes to interviewing because I can come in with maybe some insightful stuff or whatever. But the bones of it and things, he can get really deep on stuff because he's interested in a lot of other things that I am. But I am always there. I'm there to laugh and like maybe throw in another question, but it works out.
Just keep him rolling most of the time. Yeah, dude. No, you guys have a very
He's
good...
being humble, but I'll say, I've said it a billion times, I'll say it again. That guy is 100.3 The X. There's no doubt about it.
I'll drink to that. Cheers.
100 times over. If not for Big J, nobody would give a shit about this radio station because whether or not you love rock music or you don't like rock music, you know who that guy is. And that is so important when it comes to building a morning show or a brand or a radio station. So he is that radio station.
The really irritating part about that is
the brand recognition of Big J's voice. You know what station you're on.
5 years into my career at the station, I was told that. And it's like, I'm like, what? They're like, you can never change your name. You're the mascot now.
You really are.
And
dude.
I'm like, huh?
But the truth is, listen, if I leave the morning show tomorrow, it would suck.
No.
But we would be okay. If Big J leaves the X tomorrow, it would be catastrophic. 100%.
Well, it would be a formula change. Like for us, Hyatt's our freshest, newest drummer in Blacktooth Grin right over here. Hyatt, we love you very much. Nothing in the three of us, Lou, myself, and Justin, we've had. Hyatt will be our sixth drummer in.
Is our sixth drummer.
In 15 years, 16. How many years?
22.
70,000 years.
Yeah. Jeremy's not good with numbers, but
years.
If the lineup ever changed between the three of us, it just would never be the same. Like it would have to be called something else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Linkin Park.
Well, I have to tell you how desperately disappointed I am in that new Linkin Park stuff.
I love it.
Yeah,
no,
and that's honestly, Jay. That's what I love about you, dude. Is you embrace as musicians, as Blacktooth. Like we will come in and tell you, and you and I had this conversation years ago when I used to work on your cars, and the brand new Metallica album had just come out.
It was Saint Anger? Is this Saint Anger?
Yes, it was Saint Anger. And I remember you and I like arguing with each other in my little waiting room there. And I'm like, what is your fucking problem? Why do you like Metallica so much? Because I quit listening at the Black Album, and that one's questionable for me.
That Black Album was a lot of people's introduction to Metallica.
It's questionable. But here's the deal. One thing that I truly love about what you guys have to do is you get subjected to music you may or may not like. But you have to hit play on these songs, and
that's rare. And I mean, it doesn't happen that much. But
for there's songs we get sick of that we hear them way more than anybody else does.
Yes.
But we're not playing that. We're not playing that music for us. We're playing it for.
But you as being hosts and DJs of our local. Alternative rock
you guys
radio
tell us
station,
what we get to listen to on that station.
You guys actually embrace so much more music than a lot of us do. Like I'm out here, I hate 90% of what you guys have to put on the radio, and that's not
great. Thanks.
That's not a dig on the X. But that's not a dig on the X or you guys. It's just we get so focused on what we like and we don't like.
I wanted to bring this up when we talked about you guys coming on. I actually wanted to bring this up because I can't tell if music is just like we were discussing just a minute ago. If music is just getting more thinned out and shittier sounding, or if I'm just getting like old man Stan ears and everything just sounds like fucking shit in my fucking ears.
Yeah, probably a little bit of both.
Maybe because the things, like I said, the things that come out now, I'm just like, oh, it's so fucking awful and disposable. Like there's a few little nuggets in it. That new Dorothy song, is it Dorothy?
Yeah, Mud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that one came out and I was like, that's fucking neat. I like that. There's a few little nuggets in there, but everything so much just feels so. I've already heard that.
Derivative.
Yes, derivative is the word. Yes. And just like I need to put this, we're getting quantity over quality is what I'm feeling as an old man now. I'm somebody's grandpa, so.
But I'll imagine that like back in the day, when J105 was killing it with rock and roll, way back, that there was still kind of that same vibe as for musicians and other listeners, kind of like, Nick was talking earlier, like how everything kind of goes and keeps going. there's, you'll have the streaming platform and then, rock is dead. But no, it's really not dead. So
No, it's just gotten shitty for a bit.
I think it does tilt more on the old man thing, honestly.
Lou, what about you? Got something new that come out like recently that you're liking? Like some new shit.
Yeah, Lou.
Well, just like what I was talking about. What it was a couple episodes we did. It was called Wolfpack.
Yeah, Wolfpack.
Yeah. I'm just
see, but stuff like that will
obsessed with
never
that right
get
now.
regular radio play. That's kind of the shitty part of it. Is
People
like
say that about a lot of stuff, though. You
That's
never
true.
know
This-
when the
it's
tastes
true.
come around and enough people want it and actually say that this is something they want. People said that about Volbeat. They sound too much like Elvis. They'll never get regular radio airplay.
Danish Elvis.
All over.
I
Danish
never
Elvis.
thought I would hear Clutch on the X.
Yeah.
actually.
Oh, dude!
Yeah.
Well-
I pulled out the other morning and Regulator was playing. I was like, oh,
That's
welcome.
not a
fuck-
regular. That's not a
welcome.
regular thing. Like, there's not a lot of stations that play Clutch.
Absolutely.
Because
Which is
we're
it's a
weirdos.
shame.
Speaking of
Yeah.
Clutch, we could get to it right now if you want to. Lou
We
picked
just
album
wanna-
of the
we
week.
Just want to get at it.
Let's
Yeah,
just fucking
let's do that, and then
that's
we'll
a
get back
segue.
in because we have a whole bunch more
Yeah.
stuff here.
Well, but this is a segue
But, yeah,
into
talking
Clutch.
about Clutch.
So
Oh, Jesus, Lou, what have you done?
Fail.
Son of a
It's
bitch.
all right. It's all right. You can buy another one.
Stacy can edit that.
it's
out.
fine.
You
It's
too.
fine.
And we're cutting.
Oh, it's beautiful too.
Look at it. It's colored vinyl even.
yeah.
yeah.
God, I didn't know we were getting gifts. You guys do this podcast right. Let me tell you what.
Everybody gets
Thanks,
welcome.
Lou.
You're welcome. Lou, thanks for bringing the gifts.
What I went for,
Lou's very first album of the week pick.
Clutch Elephant Riders,
Oh, I love that fucking album.
released in '98.
it's
This
so
was
good.
like my first introduction to Clutch, and I would listen to this on the way home from the bar after working, all the way home to Boise.
Was that when you lived at Dong's house?
at Donk, old Donk Swanson? Yeah, the fucking guy.
Yeah, so pick you up a copy of that one if you've never heard it.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
So Clutch
This is a
will
special
never.
edition.
Ah, yeah, the red.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
What's your favorite track off it, Lou?
Probably Soap Makers.
That's a great
good
one.
song,
That's probably
dude.
my favorite.
I honestly don't believe that there is a bad Clutch song.
My first Clutch introduction was Regulator off of
Blast
Tyrant. Walking
Blast
Dead.
Tyrant.
Last time.
No,
Oh, no?
actually,
No,
no,
way
I'd
before The
heard it
Walking Dead,
long
yeah.
before.
Oh,
that.
good for you.
But they used it on Walking Dead, and I was actually having one of those out of body experiences when they started that song.
Yeah.
I was watching The Walking Dead, and the song started playing, and I thought like maybe my stereo had turned on because I was like, why in the fuck am I hearing Clutch? And sure as shit, that was actually a lot
Such
of
a
people's
badass scene.
lot of people's interest. They were burning the barn in that one, right?
And then you know what? After that, it was like we should probably play this song. We started playing it, and it doesn't make sense for us to do that really because it's a
It
very
does.
slow tempo song.
It's a
But it was cool.
yeah.
It was cool.
That was what song?
Regulator.
Oh, Regulator.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think my favorite Clutch is Electric Worry.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
That's
they're good
my
song.
favorite
Yeah.
Clutch.
when he
song.
does the thing with his voice, wah, that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to try to mimic
Well, no, that's
that.
Burning
Yeah,
Beard.
yeah,
that's Burning
that's
Beard.
not-
My
Yeah,
bad.
in Burning Beard, we used to try to mimic that, dude.
The
back in the
bucket.
day.
Wah.
Couldn't do it.
Nope.
Couldn't do it.
And those
So-
guys are true to themselves. That's the cool
They
thing
will
about Clutch.
always be
Yeah.
Clutch.
Like they don't
yeah.
give a shit about radio.
We've tried so hard.
God, we have tried to just give them hand jobs, whatever. And they don't want to come in and do it, but we don't care. We're going to play the music anyways, and we've had at
Blacktooth.
least a chance to chat with the guys when we're out at festivals and stuff like that. And they're super cool, but they're cool to themselves.
Sure.
They're authentic.
I
you know?
got thrown out, and I mean fucking thrown out of a Clutch show once at the Knitting
Blacktooth Grin
Factory.
drunk, I'm
Blacktooth
sure.
Grin drunk.
Blacktooth Grin.
Yeah.
drop.
Curdy went to fucking jail that night.
He did.
Fucking sister fucker went right to jail. Because we allegedly had weed in his A-team van.
Well, that was when Kurt had a lot of energy.
Kurt was full of energy back
High
in those days. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Trumped up
you
charge,
and
I'm
I-
sure, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
You and I used
weed
to have
us.
a theory, dude. You and I used to have a theory talking about Clutch with Neil Fallon that Tim Solt and everybody else in that band discovered him because somebody was his neighbor and he was yelling at the dogs.
That's not a
on the other
theory.
side.
I read that.
Oh, that's real?
I actually read that somewhere.
Yeah, because he has a
One of them
powerful
heard
voice.
Neil Fallon yelling for his dogs outside. Like fucking, Rover, come on home. And it was like, I want that guy. How sad he's an alien. I want that guy in my fucking band.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So
That was my Neil Fallon impression.
it was close.
It was close.
Not bad.
Well,
close.
I'd never tried before, so fuck you. It was really close.
Fuck you.
Fuck
Right.
this podcast.
Yeah, I quit already.
We quit every
Nick,
episode.
Big J, do you guys want to take over this podcast?
No.
for us?
We got too
Yeah.
many podcasts already,
Yeah,
man.
we're
I
on-
gotta go.
this
Shit
is-
going.
We are full of
You guys
podcasts.
just get your shit together.
Remember when you
Keep
asked,
going.
what should we talk about? And I'm like,
No?
that's your fucking
Yeah,
job.
that's your problem. You
I
ask
just
us
said bring
questions.
something to the table.
Oh, okay.
Jesus Christ.
Apparently, it was sassy attitude.
This fucking guy, dude.
I don't get to be sassy ever.
Wait, we have
so-
notes. We took notes. We could
did.
ask these
Look at
guys
our notes.
questions. Yeah.
You guys are
Look at
way
our
more
notes.
professional than we are. I mean,
Yeah?
these cue cards are amazing. I
This
could
is
use
this is actually the cue cards is a new idea because we just sit here and ramble about fucking.
And you have a timer on this?
Well, we like to keep an idea because about 11 minutes in, usually I have to piss.
Oh.
And the longer I look at it, it's like, how fucking long is this podcast going to go?
So if you look over to the section back here to your left there, Big J, the pretty section back here.
Oh, yes.
This is where all the attractiveness is that's not on camera. It doesn't
Wait,
make
I'm on
sense.
this side of
That's
the camera.
backwards, guys.
Oh, you're beautiful, bud. I love you.
You know what? They were,
Where's
they,
the
No, you're supposed to say that was fucking gross, remember?
Oh, no.
Oh, you failed.
that.
He fucking failed. I'm over it.
He's caught up in the emotions.
Ah, Jesus.
It's a
It's
goddamn,
only funny once. Come
It's
on.
good thing you have tenure. You know what I mean?
Tenure. Yeah, you're
And
fucking
tonight is-
fired.
It's fucking good.
Well, this has gotten off the rails.
Always does. Here it
The
goes,
drugs
boys.
have kicked in.
Yeah. So Jeremy and I tend to about every 10 years have a pretty good fight. So have you and Big
This is a
J,
fact.
Nick, have you and Big J ever had a fuck you moment?
I don't think so. We've had a ton of disagreements.
Sure.
Like there are songs and segments and things about the morning show that we don't agree about, and we have conversations. But I don't think it's ever gotten to the point where we've had to leave the room on each other or
No?
because we have different spots on the radio station that we kind of live in, so we have our own space. That helps. But we've never gotten to a point on the show like we
Nick's apartment. I'm going to my room.
we'll argue on the show and we'll go back and forth a little bit on the radio, but like that's and some of those are actually legitimate disagreements.
Sure.
But it's never
Sure.
to the point
Yeah.
where like I'm out of here kind of stuff. And it's
How is
Here's the reason why is that we don't get into these huge fights. I know he's right about it most of the time. Like 90% of the time he's right. And, it's his professional experience and things like that. I'll be like, God, this doesn't make sense to me. And I'll still be vehemently against it. But I'm like, things have worked out pretty well so far. So
I might as well just roll
go
with
along
it.
with what he's saying. But here's the thing, and this is when it comes into the 17 years of doing the show together and being copacetic and friends, because he's seen the other side of this is the egolessness about
Sure.
it. Like
Has to be.
this dude has no ego when it comes to things. He is the boss, and I've been fortunate enough to understand that from the beginning and not be we don't really get egotistical about stuff,
Sure.
and so that's what makes it copacetic between us, and I think that that's a really important thing that is rare in our business because radio people are usually psychopaths and egomaniacal type of personalities.
That's
you have to
true,
be.
yeah.
I mean, because you're talking to space.
Well, so that my question.
you're a little
my-
kooky in the head to do this job.
My follow-up question to that would be: I have mornings where I get up and just contemplate unaliving myself and not want to go to work at all. Well, because I work
you
in the
do
trades, I
drywall.
do drywall for a fucking.
yeah. No, I know,
Do you have mornings where you show up and you're just like, I cannot fucking turn it on this morning? Like,
oh yeah.
how do you? What is your?
It's tough when it's like you can tell if it's both of us. Like
Sure.
in that realm.
When you're
But
just like
usually
going
one
through
of
the
us-
motions.
One of us will be there to at least have a different kind of vibe. But it happens just because life happens. And,
Oh, dude.
You
terrible
just gotta
things
well
happen.
into it and see
just-
what you get
yeah.
out of the.
Well, and the night
know.
before, you guys had been at the knitting factory until midnight
Oh.
or whatever, and you
Yeah,
got to
and
be
you
there
guys
at
get
five.
to
and-
the-
where
you get
we're
to the
out there
station.
for 16 hours and we have to do a show the
Yeah.
next day and we're like everything sucks. And the thing is you do it, and then the crazy thing is like I'm sure Big J, although we've never talked about this, I'm sure you feel this way. When 10 o'clock hits sometimes, like it's like the energy is sucked out of your body. It sometimes takes so much energy, and
You've been turning it on for
Yes.
so long,
and you're just like,
dude.
I want a nap, I want to forever sleep, whatever.
10
you know?
a.m. or 10 p.m.
No, 10 a.m. Like
Oh,
the show's
when
over.
the
and you're
show's
like,
over and
I don't
it's-
have to be on the microphone and be present. And
Sometimes it's 8 a.m.
Well, dude, as an artist on stage, I know there's nights I felt like shit, like just whatever I'm going through, and you have to go out there and flip the switch.
Yeah.
I've done it more often than not, honestly. When you just don't, some nights you just don't wanna, you just don't feel good, And you go out there and you play through it, and then when you're done, you're like, I don't have to do shit anymore. I want my boots off. I want somebody to rub my tushy, and I want to fall asleep.
We're in a unique we're in a unique place too, though, where we get reaffirmation from people listening that really like when that gas tank is completely empty and you're in that mood and you're like, that's when you'll get a text from somebody or that's listening or that's been listening or something, and they'll be like, dude, if it wasn't for you guys, etc. Fill in
that's
the blanks.
exceptional, dude.
That when you hear that kind of stuff, it's like that feels. It's like Popeye and eating some spinach. Yeah. It's like, oh god, that really does what I'm doing, and the fact that I'm exhausted from doing this matters.
Sure.
Somewhere to somebody.
Well, dude, it's
that's the same. But you don't get that when somebody listens to a Blacktooth Grin song right away.
I do when I read the YouTube comments. I've been vehemently against reading YouTube comments because you never read your own fucking. Just why would you treat yourself?
There's some guy who calls on the phone. You're
a fat fucking loser. I hate you.
Now they can do it on a keyboard to you.
So that's what I expect under every Blacktooth Grin video on YouTube. And sometimes you look at it and there's like not a shitty comment in it, and you're like, "What did I do to deserve that?"
I know.
Like,
I need to get in your comments.
God damn it. Yeah, I knew that was coming.
I'll create bot.
Your music sucks, you fat loser. I fucking hate you.
You should walk into traffic, you piece of shit.
Take a long walk off a short pier.
Your cigar box guitar sucks.
Your ideas, everything you do sucks.
Mini bikes are dumb.
Whoa!
All right.
No. Too far.
Whoa!
That was way too far.
They're awesome. I'm sorry.
You have a room full of mini bike enthusiasts. Go get you a mini bike.
So something with the radio that a lot of people don't know is you guys don't just work from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. Mm-hmm. You don't work a 40-hour work week.
No,
not
him ever again.
That's you
guys are doing remotes. And you drive across the country,
a major part-time
to
job.
Omaha every year or something, right? You guys fucking do that big road trip out to rock the
I haven't
range.
done that in many years.
So what would you say your average work week looks like hours wise? How many
really
hours a week do you really
Good
think you
research.
put in? Because you're probably salary, I'd imagine.
Oh yeah.
So how many hours do you feel like you're putting in?
It ebbs and flows. I mean, I'm up at 4:00 prepping the show, but since the pandemic, that stuff has been able to be done at home for me.
Oh,
so I do it, and then I get to the station as close to showtime as I can, because I'm going to be there after the show for a significant amount of time. So I don't want to. I'm already come noon. I've already put in 8 hours, but I'm usually there till 1:32 every day, and then there are days where I'm there till 4, 5, 6, depending if we have a live broadcast or a giveaway party or a concert that night. I mean, like Rise Against last week, I was out until 10:30, and so that's just the way it goes. But there are also days where if it's slow, you can show and go sometimes. Where I got to get out of there at 10:30 or whatever, and I have that flexibility to do that because I take care of business and do what I need to do to make sure I can do that stuff. But yeah, I mean, on average, probably 50, 55 hours a week just to make sure everything's.
And then you guys also record on Saturdays too, right?
Yeah, you pre-record
some
shit.
stuff.
Yes.
I don't do that
things
anymore.
like that.
But Big J.
Big J pre-records.
No, I mean it's
because we'll hear you on the weekend and be like, "Oh, that motherfucker ain't in the studio."
You would be surprised how many people think that though. Think that they were actually there, and it's this day and age in radio, it's not possible for people to work 7 days a week and be there live all the time. So, yeah, some parts during the weekends, are recorded, but at the same time, then we're out doing live broadcasts and things like that. So
yeah, you're always doing remotes,
but at the same time, with doing the morning show in particular, and it might be easier for Adam or whatnot, but this is a lifestyle kind of thing with radio and rock in particular, and so
it's a full-time gig.
You're always
dude.
Thinking about it. You're always. It's just ever present there.
You're always on the clock.
It's hard to turn off and just be a regular person, or it's really difficult.
And when you're not, you're an ambassador for the radio station. We'll go out someplace and people will know who we are, and so you have to be. Oh, hey, it's good to see you. It's nice to thanks for listening, all that kind of stuff. And it's never a bad thing, but that's real. You don't want to be the guy that goes, I used to listen to Nic and Big J, but then Big J was a dick at me at Albertsons, and now I don't want to listen to that show anymore.
Exactly that.
That guy's out there. I've done that.
So speaking of that, being the ambassador of the radio and all that, the other day you were talking, Nick, about you ran into Scott Dorval
Yeah.
And did you really tell him you were Big J?
No. I wanted to get a rise out of Big J.
I was like,
that wasn't real.
That was so good. I heard that and I'm like,
Every time I get pulled over by a cop, that's what I tell him my name is. I'm Big J. Yeah.
I'm on my way to work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where do you work? We're the radio station. The
Radio.
Big J.
I did see Scott Dorval at Albertsons. He had no idea who I was. That was real. But I did not pretend I was
really
Big J.
sucks because we've done promos on the TV together.
I don't.
Lou and I got to troll. Who was that? He's dead now.
Lion Larry.
Yeah, Larry Gebert.
Lou and I got to troll Larry Gebert once because he was out doing a remote at this bird sanctuary thing somewhere out by the fucking golf course clear out there in the foothills.
Birds of Prey?
Was it Birds of Prey? I don't remember. It was 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the fucking morning. We had to do community service.
That's the only reason you two were up that early. I guarantee.
Yeah, and it was again on some trumped up charges. We weren't. My lawyer fucked me.
It was all alleged.
Lawyer fucked me. We had to go out and do community service. So one of the things was you guys can go out and be background actors for the news at this bird sanctuary.
That was community service?
What?
Yeah, dude, for reals. And
They let you guys be in the background on a
nothing
morning
is
live?
They didn't
somewhere,
know him.
I
They
swear to
didn't know
God.
him.
So Lou and I are just high as fucking balls. And somewhere there's video footage of Lou and I just behind Larry Gebert, just moving something across, like carrying a box behind him.
Walking back and forth.
Setting it down, and then like a fucking Scooby-Doo episode going in one door and coming out another. There's just a fucking... I would kill for that footage.
They're like, take this water cannon, go water
Pretend
these
you're-
plants and stuff. And they were overflowing because we're just watering the shit out
And
of them.
and
Making eye contact with
dude,
the camera.
hard spiking the camera. Just like fucking Manson lamps into the camera.
Yeah.
Well,
I would kill for that footage.
and quite honestly,
would I.
that doesn't surprise me.
And they
one
let
bit.
us do it together. That's what was fucked.
That's their mistake.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, we got community service hours for that.
Oh, dude,
I can't
you
believe that.
deserved them.
Yeah, we earned them.
Guaranteed. Yeah, you earned them.
We should have got our SAG card for that, actually.
It's a good bit.
So having Nic and Big J on here, dude, is Blacktooth is pretty big to us because as local musicians, you guys have been so unbelievable at promoting and
You guys
supporting
always take care of local bands.
local bands. And I mean, like right
Cheers
now,
to that.
Big J's wearing a Basement hoodie.
I mean, you wouldn't believe
Badass fucking local band, dude.
Showed up wearing rival
definitely
band
go look-
colors.
And actually, Basement's been around longer than Blacktooth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Jeff
way,
Rose's been out there.
way back.
They're
Way
from
back.
way back in the 90s.
Yep.
So, I think it's amazing as a local musician to have that kind of support from the radio station.
Yeah, dude.
Have this like.
I never thought I'd be sitting and chilling with the local morning radio
No.
personalities,
Yeah.
dude. Like,
That's a
and,
lie.
like as a normal
that
thing, like pretty big fucking deal for us. So,
Well, and especially the guys that have the number one morning show.
cheers to that shit.
As it goes there, dude. Yeah. It's unbelievable, man, and we absolutely love how much support you've given us, and not only the shout outs on the radio and everything you do.
Oh yeah,
but the X shows, the X Fest.
you guys do a lot for the local scene, man, and it's
And when it comes to
absolutely
Blacktooth,
fantastic.
you motherfuckers know better.
We're really happy
We
you're
do.
back, guys.
We
for
do.
real.
We do know better.
you always have,
That's why
brother.
we support you guys because
Yeah.
it's you guys. Like the important thing to us is being authentic. You guys are authentic.
Always
Like,
will,
there's
but we're
there's
us,
no
man.
BS,
That's it.
And
That's it.
and like I said,
Lou's kind of a fake ass
No.
motherfucker. Sometimes.
Yeah.
No, Lou's really
I am
real.
so glad I'm
Lou really
sitting on
phones
this
it.
side of that conversation. We were talking about Lou earlier and about Lou walking up in a good way.
Oh, you were you?
If
we
you
got to
sh-
replace him on the
if
podcast.
you'd shut your fucking mouth for a second,
You know what?
listen to
You
me.
better take that bass out your voice, motherfucker. God
Jeremy, hit the knob quick.
I got you. I got his bass. Okay, there you go. That's better.
No, but we were talking about the fact that Lou would kick the shit out of anybody in Blacktooth. Period.
Yeah, Lou's a tough guy.
Yeah. Oh,
But-
that cat.
But you're the nicest one until
teddy bear.
now, Hyatt.
Teddy
Hyatt might be nicer than you.
Oh shit.
damn. Yeah. Well, I was the quiet, shy one. I think I might be Hyatt now.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
I gotta start talking more.
Well, yeah. You quit drinking, then became an asshole.
Yeah.
Good job. I am so proud of
Yeah,
you.
usually you're an asshole while you're drinking, and that's why you quit.
Yeah.
Yeah, cheers to that, brother. You know what I mean?
Isn't it weird?
Sorry, honey, I love you.
Isn't it weird how we change over time?
Oh, dude.
When we, 'cause
I mellowed the fuck out when I had a grandkid. I didn't have him, but
I've
like,
been a
when-
different person the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, you just as you get older, you just mellow the fuck out.
Well, like you said,
I haven't tried to burn anything down or.
today.
Yeah,
Just
no.
mature, maybe
Yeah.
maturing or something,
Well, mostly.
It's because everything hurts now.
Yeah, God.
or denial that you're getting older.
Yeah, everything
Well,
hurts.
I was looking for sympathy earlier with Big J about my shoulder that we talked about on the last
Never
podcast.
gonna
And then I
get
hit
it,
him with
never
some
gonna
truth.
get it.
And then I hit him with some truth.
And then he hit me with the truth. He told me like I sucked at life. Don't try to play football, fat kid.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't
Like-
play football with a bunch of 19-year-olds.
Yeah,
Well,
what were you fucking thinking?
Only
I mean,
one of them
just-
has played college ball.
Is that it?
It's really all shit you should have already known.
Yeah, man. This is
buddy.
day one stuff, bub.
You know
Who would have taught me
what?
that I should have known
That you
that?
shouldn't play football.
Listen, we
Yeah.
don't need to get into that.
Yeah, man. This isn't a therapy session.
Yeah.
Where were
We
you
don't need
guys
to
on
talk
that
about
one?
your mom and dad and stuff.
No, buddy.
Wow. All right, let's wrap this up.
No, okay.
Yeah.
Next
Nick
subject.
and Big J,
Yeah.
thank you guys for coming on the
Oh, you
podcast today. We
legitimately
appreciate
already-
you very much.
It's only 44 minutes.
Yeah, I have to piss.
Yeah, that's okay. Go pee.
All right, fuck it.
We'll keep talking. Dude.
Nice.
Yeah.
We've done this more than once.
God, can we do this on the radio?
Yeah.
Can we just leave the studio?
What do you guys do when you pause? Like
Nobody can hear you.
While a song is playing, do you get up and pee?
Yeah.
Yeah, I never noticed like when we were there.
Well, I mean, that was just a segment. And then we're like, we can't leave these guys in here
Yeah,
alone.
when we have guests, we have the water jugs underneath the board that we just go into, and then
Little
nobody
piss
knows.
jug.
I've thought about wearing Depends during the podcast. What do you guys think? Have you guys thought about
I
that?
might
it
have
would
a
be
bladder
uncomfortable.
problem,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah. I mean, you see a
I'm
doctor.
pretty sure I do. It's called the pelvic floor. I heard about it on the radio.
That was this morning,
He's
man.
making a reference
Yeah.
to the show.
From
Nice
this
done.
morning.
Yeah, I think I heard something about that.
Yeah.
Is that for pooping or peeing? I think it's poop.
All I know is pelvic floor. I don't actually know what it does.
Yeah,
I
we
just
don't know
know
what
it's a thing.
So you're not a doctor.
No, sir.
Ah, damn.
I don't pretend to be one either. Do not listen to me for medical advice.
Yeah, or me for that matter. But my new favorite thing now on the show, right, is that we'll do a segment about something, whatever, and it'll vary throughout the time. But I'll say something or I'll quote a story, and he'll ask me for more detail, and he knows that I don't have it, and he still asks, and so that I'll say I don't have. Why'd you ask a follow-up question? I don't know the answer to that.
Why don't you?
Because
It's a great question, Justin. It's a
Hey, I'm
wonderful
back.
question why he doesn't have that answer.
Well, my new favorite segment, now that we're talking about this, is so I heard for the first time because, in the trades, when we show up on job sites and we get there early, I get to catch a little bit of you guys in the morning. Then I show up and some asshole's already got his iPod plugged in and he's playing
take that
some
thing away.
stupid music. And
Our enemy.
I actually can because I'm the boss, so I think I'm going to make it a rule. But I caught this because I listened to the podcast and I caught the new grade Big J on his weekend. And it was unbelievable because we actually, though we pick on you a lot, we actually love you. And we really love Kylie. Your wife is way cooler than you.
she is. You will not get an argument from me.
The fact that you guys have her calling in, and I'm hearing what you did, man. It sounded like a great weekend. And
She's
she
like,
even,
fuck that. He got a
No,
C.
hold up though. You haven't heard it yet. She actually gave him props. He did the dishes twice, only broke one thing.
I had to say that, though.
He was not able to pick up a mower strictly because they were closed on the weekend. It was that he failed during the week. So this is where Kylie was wrong, and don't tell her I said that. But he didn't fail on the weekend, see? He failed during the week.
That shouldn't count in the weekend recap,
But
then,
when-
should it?
It's
but
funny,
when-
Nick has said that very same thing.
I have made that point.
But when
Weak failures is a
when
different
Nick
problem.
finally asks her, "What do you grade Big J on his weekend?" she gave him a fucking C. But I'm glad you pumped him up, dude. He that's average. He passed.
Yeah.
He passed.
He did.
That segment we've been holding on to for a while. I was like, this would be funny, and just because it's always, hey, how was the weekend? Blah blah blah. I'm like, it was great. Everything, or it was, I didn't do anything, and it's just, and then I come home and the kids tell me about how my story was incorrect, and the wife does, and they'll sit there and have conversations about it, and I'm like, maybe other people need to hear this side of the story.
It is
and
so good
because
because every
I just-
guy thinks it.
Yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
we always think, and it's like it's fun to hear somebody else's perspective of what your weekend was really like. But also, people just like hearing me get made fun of and ripped on by whoever.
I would
And
never
if it's
survive
my
a
wife,
weekly
it's-
grading. There's
no way.
I would die every
There's
week.
no way.
Nope.
It's just a formula at this point, so it's worked perfectly for that.
It is awkward though for me. I feel like I'm caught between arguments sometimes.
Yeah.
On the radio. It's weird.
yeah, and I can honestly tell you,
Just like a
there's
little kid
not-
watching your parents
Hey, Mom
fight.
and Dad, you know,
There's very few people I'm afraid of, but Kylie does scare me a little bit. She seems like the boss.
She's
Yeah,
very much the boss. You can.
Yeah.
I've seen it in her eyes.
yeah, and I don't mind that.
No, that's good for
The
you.
only
Probably.
time I
Same,
get pissed is when the kids say it. And I'm like, hey, listen, I'll do what I want, damn it. I went and bought a motorcycle and I didn't get permission. You know?
You did that without permission.
Yeah.
Ballsy.
I mean, it was.
How
yeah,
did that go?
I'm still married.
Fuck yeah, brother. Good job.
What
So
you didn't
now-
see, what you didn't see on Spotify is Big J just put quotations around that.
So for
I'm still
everybody,
married.
everybody listening though, and guys in the room, don't follow his lead.
Yeah, just get permission. Anything
Typically
over
get
$20,
permission,
you
yeah.
got to get permission. We all
No,
know
that's
that.
because
You
see,
got a
here's the
big
thing.
spending limit.
I know, brother. I worked hard for that.
I know she's the boss, but I also do my best to take care of her because of that. So, like after this podcast, she's working right now. I'm going to stop and get her favorite tea from
you're
the
such
Dutch
a-
brothers. She doesn't know I'm going to do that.
such a
And that's
sweet
to
boy.
Her, that to her is romance, and that's all that matters.
No, that
That
really is
actually is
romance.
romance.
That's
Yeah.
all of the girls in the room just got wet. So good job on that.
Good job.
And I got a shitty look. So thanks for that, fuckface.
but at the
Again,
same,
it's a formula that I
but
know
at
how
the
to
same
use.
time, at the same time, your pants got a little tighter. So.
Mine did. Yeah, I was like, I wish some Big J would buy me a tea.
he would. He would.
No, he wouldn't. He wouldn't.
He wouldn't, but he'd fart on it. He'd be like, I got you a tea.
No.
Gave you
He would
conjunctivitis.
He would literally blow bubbles in your tea with his butthole.
No. I'm a
Call
nice
that
guy.
Big J Boba.
I got you some
Those
boba
aren't
tea, buddy.
boba. Those aren't boba.
It's got a weird aftertaste to it.
It's got popcorn in it. Fuck is that?
But don't ask.
That just got
Great
gross.
show.
Yeah, great show. Really quality content, boys.
Welcome, Music and Mayhem.
We did it.
Yeah. So, is there? I'm going to get back onto the subject because I have notes, and I'm going to get rid of this derailed thing
do
for
it.
just a minute.
No, you're not.
Do you guys, and individually, this question goes individually because I'm sure it's different, but do you have a song that you get to play on the radio that you love and don't get tired of?
Jay.
Pass.
Nick's got to think about it.
I'll tell
He's
you.
gotta think
I'll
about
tell you the one that it's one. It's going to play every day, once a day. And it's not Metallica. I mean, I'll love any Metallica song, but it's Alice in Chains' Rooster.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck yeah. All right.
Like I will never get tired of that song.
Alice in Chains
Ever,
for life, dude.
Ever, and I like Alice in Chains, but I love that song.
It's a
I
great
love the
song.
story behind the song.
Fuck yeah.
And one of my favorite live performances, Nick and I were together. We were in Ohio for Rock on the Range, which is now called Sonic Temple, and Alice in Chains was out there playing, and Duff McKagan came out from Guns N' Roses.
Oh, yeah.
And played with dude. It was one of my favorite live performances
Wow.
ever. It was just an incredible moment, and so that's my song. That's one I'll never be tired of.
All
hearing.
right.
and I don't
That's a
blame you.
good,
I don't get
solid
tired. I don't
pick.
get tired of hearing it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, For me, it's because I have unconventional tastes. So my favorite band of all time is not one that often gets played on the radio. But as the boss, every once in a while, I can sneak in a song if I want to. And it's Tenacious D.
Oh, yeah.
sir.
Tenacious D.
I love Tenacious D. They're my favorite band. They're the band I've seen the most live ever. And so whenever I get a chance to spike them in or give us an excuse to play that any kind of song from them, I'm very happy. It's a good day.
The first time I ever heard Tenacious D was on the X early in the morning driving to
It'd be
work.
Love Her Gently.
It was.
Yeah.
Oh, you can call it Fuck Her Gently on this podcast.
Okay,
Yeah.
fuck her gently.
Love Her Gently. You're such a sweet boy.
so
You're
Blacktooth
so
used to
soft.
cover that. We used to cover a few.
Don't
Tenacious D.
Are we going to get sued if I sing it?
Who
You know what
cares?
song-
Well,
we
you
can't-
might get copyrighted. So you're trying to make money here. Don't do that.
Yeah, we're not making any money.
Oh, yeah,
This
we're
is
not making
money.
any money.
No. No, we need radio endorsement.
Lou somehow gets a fucking check every week. I don't know.
Because I go to work. Fuck, man.
Oh man, that was.
Thank you, Lou.
Zingers,
There it is.
zingers, there it
Lou
is.
always-
That's
Lou-
what we call
Lou
it
always
out
rolls in
radio.
hot.
yeah.
Ouch, walk
That's your
off.
out.
on that.
Yep, just fucking leave on a high note.
So, as a fellow Tenacious D fan, do you ever wish that they would do a song that wasn't Tenacious D lyrically, like a serious song. Like they would sit down and write some amazing song that wasn't talking about fucking her hard and getting food from the snack bar and all that.
That's a hard question because I mean they've done plenty of covers. So like when what I love about Tenacious D is I've been a fan ever since the HBO series. I caught it just randomly on a Saturday night and I was like, this is my new favorite thing.
Yeah.
Because it's funny and it's irreverent and it's filthy and it's all the things that 13-year-old me and 48-year-old me still loves. And then also
Dick and fart jokes.
They can sing. Like
Oh,
they
dude.
can sing.
Unbelievably.
And they can play.
I always wondered what Jack Black could have done if he had ever taken it seriously. Like,
Right.
if he just vocally,
But
that guy can fucking
the
sing.
funny
Well, he makes
Both of
movie
them,
money.
they
He
sing
makes
in-
movie money.
They sing incredibly together.
The funny thing about Tenacious D to me is you know the whole bit is they tell everybody how amazing and kick-ass they are when in reality they're terrible, and that's the kind of but they're not. But that's the joke. And the funny thing is now they're a Grammy award-winning band, man.
Fuck
They
yeah,
have
they
won
are.
a
Yeah, dude.
Grammy, and
Yes,
that's
sir.
like that was a running joke back in the day. But you know they've done covers and stuff that doesn't sound like Tenacious D, but is really really good. But to me, I love the harmonization. I love the goofiness of it. And so like if I had to pick like a favorite Tenacious D song, it's Special Thing from the TV series where there's 3 of them actually singing. You got 3-part harmony going on, and it's goofy and dumb and funny. And I love that kind of stuff. But I'll take any Tenacious D. But then again, like I didn't like Post Apocalypto very much, the album, because I thought it was a little bit too much of a concept thing. But that's just me nerding out. But I love any Tenacious D.
So do you have a favorite Tenacious D HBO episode?
Yeah, it would probably be Lee, the one with the super fan.
I like the the giant potato one. with
Yeah,
the
Jesus
cult-
Ranch.
Jesus
Ranch.
Ranch.
Yep,
Yeah.
Jesus
Ranch
Ranch.
is
That's
good.
mine.
So, being that you love the Lee episode, do you like the band that they did Trainwreck?
I love one of
With
the
Kyle
highlights.
Gass.
One of the highlights of my career at the X was convincing Kyle Gass to play a free X show.
Yeah.
I
When the Kyle
got to
Gass
play
band-
that show.
I know.
Yep,
When
I was
Kyle
part of
Gass-
that show.
I basically emailed the guitarist and was like, I noticed there's some off time between a couple of gigs. I've got a venue. You want to come play for free? We'll give you everything at the door. You'll get to take care of all the merch, and it'll probably be better than whatever guarantee you get at the bars that you're playing. And they came, and they had so much fun, and I was like a little kid that night. I had so much fun, and
Yeah,
they were
it's
so
amazing.
nice and so cool. And so yeah, that was I love Trainwreck. I love the Kyle Gass project. I love
Kyle
anything,
Gass is such a fun dude.
anything
He's
to do
such a
with
fun
Tenacious D.
dude.
I do.
So, you probably don't know this, but in the early Blacktooth days, when we were doing mostly covers, we used to cover a few D songs. But when we would hang out on the weekends, which we always did, and we would sit around, fucking drink, party, barbecue, do that all the time. I had the HBO specials on DVD. And
Yeah, the complete Masterworks.
the complete Masterworks
on box
with-
set. Yeah,
so
everybody
it had
has
all
it.
the
Everybody,
all
we
the
own it.
HBO special, and then that live gig they did with the big dragon,
Yeah.
all that shit. So we would sit around and watch these repeatedly, almost every weekend, and we would mimic like Tenacious D. Jeremy and I used to vocal stretch and warm up to Rocket Sauce
Rocket, rocket, all of my rocket sauce. Yeah, that was our
all the
jam.
time.
Oh, my fucking
When
rocket
we showed up, and you got you had the saxoboom.
Oh,
Do you remember the
that
hunt
was-
for
that was-
saxoboom?
That was a big day.
they're
you
impossible to find. I went through the same.
You
So,
couldn't
do you know
find
where I
one
found it?
then.
So we were looking. I looked at like Toys R Us. I looked online. I looked everywhere. I went on a trip down to Salt Lake City. The ex-wife was getting like eye surgery or some shit, and I went to that the other mall, Holly. What's the other mall where we got your prom dress, babe? In Salt Lake. Anyway, so they have this
Mormon
other.
Mall?
They have this other shopping mall there, and there's this weird little toy store that looks like it's gonna have like witchcraft shit and a bunch of stuff. So I just kind of cruise in.
It's called
walking
11 Wives Tours.
yeah, dude, it was weird. And I go walking through this toy store, and I look down on the very bottom shelf, almost
gleaming.
on the floor, is literally a saxophone.
Oh my god.
So Blacktooth,
Making the noise and everything.
At one point in time, Blacktooth owned a saxophone.
We would
and
do
we
the whole
figured out how
spiel.
to play the bam,
Bam,
Yeah.
bam, bam. We would do the whole spiel.
Figured out
dude.
the whole thing.
That's no
That was
wonder
in
we
the
get
very-
along so well.
that was in
We're
the
all
very
Tenacious D
early
fans.
days.
Maybe
though.
bring that back.
I wish I knew where it was. It's probably in the city dump. Honestly, we probably broke it.
Everybody in podcast land, if you can find us a saxoboom, mail it to Lou's house. His address
Yeah, apparently
is
his.
Yeah, apparently.
Apparently, he already knows because he gets fan mail. And
Yeah, hey, our fan, whoever's buying shit for Lou, buy us a saxophone and send it to that
Have you
address.
caught that? Are you caught up on the podcast?
I haven't. No.
Okay, so
Somebody keeps sending Lou
is
fan
getting
mail.
fan mail.
Oh,
Nice, Lou.
Lou got
Yeah.
so he is sick of smelling farts.
Gifts.
And a fart-scented candle.
He got a fart scented candle. He got a hat that said "I'm sick of smelling farts."
Yep.
And then Lou doesn't much care for clowns, so he got a Pennywise doormat. 3 items have been sent to Lou's house.
Is that fan mail, Lou? Or
Yeah,
is
that one sounds
somebody's-
like torture.
Stalker
A
mail.
little bit
That's what I'm
stalking.
saying.
And it's
Little bit
not
stalking.
your
I'm
wife?
calling it fan mail.
No.
and it's not his wife.
It has to be
To make
somebody
it-
that knows
yeah,
us, that
I gotta-
knows where Lou lives. I have no fuquan idea.
You're
who it
actually
could be.
you're actually wrong. You're actually wrong. So Nicole and I were having this conversation the other night, and I said it's not like they know where Lou lives. We've never said. So she did a Google search and found your fucking address.
Oh, good.
Crazy.
Yeah, she read it to me, and I'm like, God damn, that's
I
his
have a.
address.
You guys want a social security number too? Or?
You and Lou been friends
Yeah.
long enough. You probably know his.
I
Social.
barely know mine, brother.
Yeah, you barely know your.
I know
phone
my
number.
driver's license number by heart for some fucking reason.
Wow.
That's really weird. Yeah.
For you.
Yeah, I know mine.
Trumped up charges though.
Yeah, trumped up charges
That's
for
why.
sure.
That's why it was your inmate number too. So what else you guys got? You guys want to talk about some more shit? You got anything cool?
Station
I asked
is
you to
heading
bring
into
stuff.
their 30th anniversary next year, so
Yeah.
2025 is going to be a big deal for the X. We're going to be doing everything around the 30-year anniversary of the radio station. So yeah,
That's
Fucking
fabulous.
30
we're
years.
excited.
So
There's a
30
local
years-
show coming up we should probably talk about. Did we write that down?
Not all the info, but it is.
Karen Comes
Karen
Killing,
Comes
and
Killing.
Black Marrow.
Oh yeah,
and
Friday, right?
Yeah,
Omega
Friday
out at the
Alpha.
Heritage.
Omega Trend.
Omega Trend. There,
Yep.
that's the one.
And I think there's a couple more on there. But do you know where it's going?
The Heritage
Heritage
Social
Social.
Club.
Heritage Social Club.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, this Friday, dude. Today.
When this comes out, hear this, then go to that. Help yourself out. Live a
How's
good
that?
life.
Any
I don't fucking-
free X shows coming up?
You know,
One with Blacktooth Grin.
it's one of those deals.
We're gonna
where
make it.
That may have been murdered by the pandemic because for a really long time we leaned on free X shows a lot. We oversaturated the marketplace a little bit with them, where there was like one every month, and then it got to the point where people were just like expecting them, and that wasn't fair to the bands that were coming in. And then once the pandemic hit, it was just a real feeling of guilt where we're like, hey, these people have been sat home for 18 months and we're going to ask them to play for free for us. That's crappy. Go out and get your money, get paid, get what you need to make and make some money, make a living.
fantastic.
And then we'll figure out about bringing it back later. We're at a point now where maybe we're kicking it around. But the other thing is, man, you guys know, look at the concert calendars. Every venue in this goddamn town is packed to the gills. It's hard to
Oh,
find a
dude.
free date
Oh, yeah.
to make
So
these things happen.
we're trying to find a date to do our,
Coming out show?
We're coming out of hiatus show.
Coming
And we've been getting shows and like clear through February. The Knit is typically where we're going to do that because it holds more people and we've had a good history there.
We have a good working relationship.
It's booked out through the end of February.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nuts. And the other, and that's the thing. The free X shows are Knitting Factory shows.
Yeah.
I would feel dirty and gross taking them someplace else. It's
Yeah,
just
I don't blame you.
Not the way that we
Yeah.
like to work, and they don't deserve to be treated that way. And so we want to do it with the partners that have helped make these things go. But we want people to get paid for playing their music. At the end of the day, that's what the Free X Show was created for, to give local bands an opportunity to get in front of a captive audience and let people become fans of their stuff so that next time they play, they'll pay for that. And same thing with bands that come in, baby bands or bands that are, every once in a while we get a huge band that would play for free, which is
Trivium,
awesome.
like Trivium.
Yeah.
But
ridiculous.
the idea,
dude.
the bands that came in, even if they are big now, like the Pop Evils of the world and those kind of things that can sell out these venues, the idea was bring them in, have them play for a free audience, and then next time they come through, they'll have an audience that will pay to see them play. And so right now we're at a situation where it's like, how do we ask a band to do that? It's tough.
Yeah.
Well, because like we've talked about before, sometimes, especially when you go on the road, you're not really ever making music playing a venue. The only way, or making money playing a venue, the only way you're making money is if you sell T-shirts.
Yeah.
So we're not artists anymore. We're cotton merchants, and like that really sucks.
Yeah.
But like sometimes the only way you get from point A to point B is because you sold 5 T-shirts that night and you have gas money.
Like
But,
I said, that was the selling point for free X shows. It's not that, they love the fact that they could play in front of, because we usually would have at least 800 to 1,100 people there, no matter who
packed
it was.
every time.
But also, the bands were making more money on merch
Almost every time.
at their Boise show than they would anywhere else. So they were making more with the money they would make in T-shirts in the Boise audience
Sure.
than they would at the Guarantee at their next gig. It made sense for them, and we treated them like kings, and
Absolutely,
everybody made
yeah.
sure it was a great relationship. But at some point, we want the bands to make money making music. So
The history
No,
of
I
those
don't blame
bands,
it.
by the way, is crazy too. That some of them that have been a part of that.
Oh, sure.
So when you guys were
Fuck,
involved
we've been
with,
a lot of those shows.
Yeah, we
got
played
to-
a lot, and
we got
that's-
to play a lot of free X shows.
that's kind of my segue here, because I'm going to bring up some shit that I'm not supposed to bring up.
Uh-oh, why?
But an
An hour in, you're going to bring up shit you're not supposed to bring up?
Absolutely. The X had us come in and play. You guys had us do the show with Boba Flex
Yeah.
when they did their music video
Yeah.
here. So
No,
I would
you
like to
didn't.
know, do you guys still communicate with them? And this is why. They owe us one soldering iron.
They owe me one
Oh yeah,
fucking
the
soldering
I
iron.
meant to talk to you about that the last time.
I
we were
want
here.
my
I
fucking
was
soldering
like, I gotta
iron.
go buy one for you.
I don't know that story, but yes, we do talk to them. What happened?
They had some bass gear breakdown before the show, and they were like, fucking, do you have a soldering iron?
Was it Sean or
It was the one with the sparkly shit on his jeans.
That was the bass player.
Yeah. The
okay.
sparkly guy jeans. That guy.
I believe it was one of the McCoys.
Jared probably was the bass player at the time.
yeah.
Who wasn't in the band anymore.
He specifically owes me one soldering
Yeah.
iron.
Well, he's dead to us now.
Yeah, he's fucking dead
Well,
to us.
guess
My
what?
Boba Flex is
If
set in the
you have
corner, and
his
I haven't
number-
used it in years.
We need one soldering iron from Boba Flex.
We'll make
Okay.
that call.
We've
Thanks,
wasted
boys.
a lot. We have wasted a lot of.
You did that an hour in with the soldering iron.
You're
Bury
welcome.
me with my
Can we-
soldering irons.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can we please wrap this up now?
All right. Fine.
Here's a cheers
wanna
to
go-
Pepper.
Cheers to Pepper.
Cheers to fucking Pepper.
Absolutely.
I've been waiting this whole time to get to Pepper. Cheers.
And
Where is he? He's
do you
here
guys
somewhere.
want to make some Blacktooth music?
I'd go play some Blacktooth Grin music.
Well, it is jam night, jelly night.
jam jelly.
Seems ideal
Jam
then.
Do you know the difference between jam and jelly?
Big J.
Preserves?
You can't jelly your dick into a dead girl's asshole.
Oh, you.
Why do you know that?
Big J says
That was
all the
Pepper's
time.
joke. Cheers to Pepper.
Cheers to Pepper.
We've been Music and Mayhem. You guys have been Nic and Big J.
Fuck yeah, Nick and Big J,
Thank
man.
you for being
you
here
guys
so much. Party in the back.
Party in the back.
Lou,
Yeah.
you did great.
I
buddy.
did all right.
I'm
really
sorry
did.
I yelled at you earlier
Kinda
about
sat
shutting
in
the
corner.
fuck up.
I just
Yeah.
listened.
Well, and you showed up looking nice, man.
You do look nice. Do you smell good?
Yeah.
Of course I
Probably.
do.
Can I sniff you?
If you want.
Let's roll this up then.
Something to
All right, Music and Mayhem, dude. Fucking thank you, Nick
We'll
and
see
Big
you
J.
next time.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Okay, bye.